Hey, this is Heather with Manifesting Naturally. So glad to finally have this YouTube channel going. Really excited to have you here. We are going to talk about law of assumption and manifesting. It is a lifestyle, right? It is fantastic. It is life-changing. I'm so excited about it. I could talk about it all the time, and I do. And we're going to learn, and we're going to level the fuck up, and we're going to do some mystical, magical shit up in here, too. Just like my favorite mystic, Neville Goddard, my most favorite reindeer of all. So, you know what? Please go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification, because we're going to do lives up here. We're going to do all kinds of fun stuff. And you manifested me, so you kind of have to. We're going to talk today about consciousness, okay? Neville Goddard wrote a book in 1960 called I Know My Father. It is one of his most simpler works that I have run across at all. It's 10 chapters. Right now, we're going to cover the first chapter, which is I Am. To me, this is basically him trying to say, listen, I know it's a lot and it's not secular history, and people still have a hard time separating God from religion. God is mind. God is mental. God is consciousness. God is awareness. God is imagination. Yeah, it can be, if you're having a hard time, if you're feeling confused, if it feels wrong to say, I'm God, I'm Jesus, that is common. And the problem is, you have to, if you want to be successful, you have to own this shit. You have to find a way. You have to find something that makes sense to you so that you can understand that really what you are is pure imagination. That is the explanation for everything. You are only able to see what your attention is on because you only exist as consciousness. That's a lot to wrap your brain around. I get it. And then to be told it in a way that's almost adding insult to injury. Not only am I flipping your fucking world upside down and turning it into bizarro world here, where everything you thought is completely the opposite, which, by the way, when you're all screaming about the opposite is showing up, you're right. Except you don't even know the half of it. The whole world, the whole fucking thing is opposite. Then and by the way, you're God and Jesus, but that's not religion. And by the way, you can create with your mind. And by the way, no one else exists and there is no reality, and you can't even prove if you are alive right now or aware. You have no way of knowing. It is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, but it's fucking fun and fantastic. And it is legit. And it shit. Even if you're in a fucking coma right now, it's fun while you're in this coma to start creating this experience. I think that may be his attempt, because these are, like I said, these are really short, really easy, and they're basically just going to reiterate everything he says, except pulling it back to consciousness and awareness. And there's some important stuff in here. So I'm going to read it. We're going to talk about it. So it's first chapter is I Am. Make sure you check back because I'm going through them all. All right. My Father is he whom men call God. But I know my Father, and men know not their God. My Father and your Father are one. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and I and my Father are one. One Father made us all to live, move, and have our being in him, the one. One. Who then is this one that we have in common? Who is this one? The one and the only thing all men have in common is this. All men know they are. This claim that we are, this awareness is our Father. Consciousness is God. Awareness is our Father. There's no place that a man can go and not know that you are. If I take the wings of the morning and fly to the uttermost parts of the earth, thou art there. I know that I am. If I make my bed now, I know that I am. How many times we all know that, right? Wherever you go, there you are. I'm going to move here and I'll do that and I'll leave here. It doesn't matter. moving, leaving physically. You think that that's going to change, but it's your mind. The mentality is with you, and that's all that you are. If all that you are is consciousness, it doesn't matter if you become conscious of living in another place or working in a different building. Your mindset is what's creating this, and you know that. And just so you know, I'm glad you're here. Really, I'm glad you're here. If you're here, you have to have some calling to this. That's the way it happens. And just keep digging in, just keep persisting. That's why I'm doing this, because I think it's a simple way to digest this. And I want to share it with you, right? If I should suffer from amnesia and completely forget my human identity, I still know that I am. It is impossible for man to know that he is not. You can say, I am not that, but you cannot say, I am not. For your very knowing is a declaration that you are. Whether you claim yourself to be or not to be, you are actually claiming that you are. Thus, man is ever saying, I am. This knowing that we are, this awareness is God the Father. Now, this is where the creation comes in. This is living in the end. This is feeling real, right? It's just a choice. This is self-concept summed up. This is everyone needs you pushed out. It just all makes sense when you understand it is only consciousness, awareness becomes conditioned by claiming itself to be this or that or the other. This formless awareness, and our impersonal Father doesn't judge, doesn't care, just molds as such. Our real self becomes personified as that which we have conceived ourselves to be. This impersonal presence that we are, maybe like into space. For space, formless, gives form to all. If formless space was extracted from the book you're reading, the body you wear, the earth you stand on, it would all vanish. You need the space to show the form. Consciousness, though formless, gives form to that which it is conscious of being. Do you hear that? Consciousness, though formless, your I amness, God, all of awareness, the original consciousness, that in and of itself is just conscious, but is not labeled or formed. The moment you become aware, it changes, right? But the moment you withdraw your formless reality or your consciousness from your conception of yourself, the form you wear, this conception passes away. So it goes both ways. Literally, you putting your attention on it, the minute you start putting your attention on it, the form is happening. It instantly forms, except, again, we are in a 3D world. It takes a little persisting. It takes holding on to that. But it happens like that. So if you don't want to look at the gifts from God and desires and states and all that's confusing you, just imagine your I amness is pure awareness, pure consciousness. What you put your awareness on it's going to be what you decide. And when you woke up, my friends, you woke up in somebody else's country where everything was named and labeled in someone else's castle, in someone else's world. You can burn the fucking dictionary. You can start over. Just simply make a list. What I think I'm this, I think I'm this, I think I'm this. There's definitely some dialogue going on here. It's running through my mind. I'm going to just make a simple list. These are the things that I'm going to choose to be. And I'm just going to declare them. And I don't mean affirm them endlessly. It's loved and chosen and wanted and all these things. It can be, but be bigger. Be everything. Include that. Be God. I am God. I am everything. I am a huge presence. I am VIP. I am a master in my own life. I am in charge of this game. This is my castle. I am the king. I am the queen. I am whatever. That is what I am. It will go with you. It's all of consciousness. And the minute you do it, But you have to be able to believe this. And if you can't believe it as God, when you say the trial where you have to choose between Jesus and Barabbas, what winds up happening? You're choosing the robber because there's a lot of religious shit in there. So we're trying to get rid of it. So just concede. At some point, concede to something. If you want what you fucking want, if you're tired already, I feel like this is really why he wrote this. I mean, you can't get any more simpler. When you start to know that this Bible is about you and written to and for your imagination, it does get riveting. Things do make sense. It does get exciting. Use it. Use it. So we'll keep going on. Sorry, I got all worked up here, but my Father is spirit, formless, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. I and my Father are one. My awareness of being is formless Father who gives form to that which I am aware of being, and in doing so loses its formless, nameless presence in the form and nature of conception of itself. As water loses its identity when mixed with things and yet remains untarnished when it's extracted through distillation, so the awareness of no thing loses itself in thing, conception of itself, and remains its immaculate self through spiritual distillation. You are spiritually distilled, or you're extracted from your conception of yourself when you cease to be identified with it. If you don't want to be something anymore, stop giving your attention to it. Pay attention to what you're paying attention to. It's as simple as that. This hit me the other day and hit me like a punch in the face. And I think I have a generally really good grasp on this, but it's not about that. You can learn this and learn the gist and understand it. And it's just about practicing. What have you got caught up in that you're paying attention to that's showing up? The minute things that you're saying to yourself, hey, that doesn't seem like that's been going my way for a while. Obviously, then I'm paying attention to that. So that means now I have to just simply start speaking in my mind, speaking what it is I want. What you want, what will heal you, what your answer is, the solution to your problem is to just start telling the story. It doesn't matter. And then you just walk in it, feeling it real, and living in the end could be as simple as that. You just have to make a choice. Get bold. If you don't want to accept religion, you don't want to do the stats, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, you're burnt out from these affirmations, but you're wasting your time anyway, because to constantly be affirming that you're chosen or this or you're loved or I'm not chosen, and to walk around with that thought, yes, you're right. It has formed you into not chosen. And now you keep saying, I am chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen. But you're not saying it, you're not owning it, you're not stepping in it, you're not just being it, you're not choosing it. You're begging for it. You're noticing. You're looking. For what? For what? You are imagining your entire life. When you are imagining your entire life, that concept as it molds, it can only then show you all of those things that are along the line of that self-concept. And that's what states are. But this is, again, a simpler way to do it. So we're gonna keep going because it's almost done. But this is important. This is really the best part of this. Now that you found that this one to be your Father, the eternal now, the eternal right now, this is who I am. Right now, this is who I am. There's nothing to look and see because there isn't anything. There's just space. And then there's just the projection onto that space from my imagination, the thoughts and the beliefs that I'm going to see that are personifications that represent what I have decided that I am. And I make those statements so flippantly all day long, we don't catch ourselves. That's why I'm telling you, it's a great thing to do to look at the disciples. They are important. They can help you hone down. Pick an area, write something down for each one. What needs to be disciplined and pulled in and honed in? It is so helpful. You'll catch yourself faster. But It's crucial. This is what he means when he's talking about living in the now and being it now and not looking for, not waiting for, not worrying about it, because every time you do that, essentially you're just dragging it out. You're never going to ruin anything you can. It's impossible because you're just consciousness. That's all you exist as. So you're just going to constantly be shifting in and out of consciousness and out of consciousness and out of consciousness, focusing on different awarenesses. But it's just a habit. You're in a habit. So listen, let's go back to that. Now that you have found this one to be, your Father, the eternal now, I am, do not return to the prodigal state to beg for the crumbs of life. Remember your Father, the now, the only reality. Claim yourself now, this moment, to be that which you desire to be, and regardless of what your claim may be, your Father, the awareness that is now, will give it to you by becoming the thing claimed, but you must ask in this manner. Ready? Be aware of being that for which you ask. No longer look for your Father in time and space. No longer look for your Father in time and space. For your Father is the awareness that is now. And I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than I. My awareness and that which I am aware of being are one. I am greater than that which I am aware of being. It can mold into anything. Just think of it as this formless power that is running the entire world, that is everything that you are. You have to find a way. I'm going to say it again and again because I want you to start getting this, and I want you to start manifesting the shit that you want. And if you have to find a way to have faith. Neville goes through this Bible and provides you with so much evidence and promises and where to find it and where to look and how to know. And it should give you some comfort instead of just hearing someone say, go and affirm, and circumstances don't matter, and persist, and what you want wants you. None of that probably doesn't mean shit. If you're over here frustrated, if you're over here not understanding, if you haven't accepted this fact, if you haven't wrapped your brain around the fact that nothing is fucking real or matters, there's nothing to ask. You choose. Self-concept is a choice. You don't heal it. You don't have to fix it. You want to reflect so you can change dialogue, because the thoughts that you're thinking is how you tell the awareness, how you tell the Father what it is that you are. That's how you communicate the concept. So you have to be thinking it. Just think big and bold, and then be it. Loosen up, play pretend. You have to find somewhere to get. Can you accept your awareness? Because otherwise, guys, you're not going to fucking manifest. You're not getting it. You're not going to do it. And I don't want that to happen to you. You have to, first and foremost, you have to concede. You either be right or you be happy. You either be stubborn and you be fearful, or you be happy. At some point, that's up to you. And so this is my attempt to help you by letting you know that you don't have to get all caught up in that. It doesn't have to be so much about the Bible. It doesn't have to be. But you do have to at least concede that you're consciousness. You're formless and you have that power. And that the minute you decide whatever it is you're going to put your attention and focus on, that is what is going to come. Because there's just a bunch of bullshit that someone else made up. If you went to another country that you've never been to, you wouldn't know any meaning to anything. They could be being so kind to you, or they could be mocking the hell out of you. You wouldn't know because it's neutral land. So you can create anything you wanted, right? You could give meaning to anything you want. Think that. Make your own space, make your own castle, make your own land, make your own language, make your own things up, make your own terms. Nothing has to be. It just doesn't. That's how free you can get. That is literally how empowering this is. And I want you to be empowered by it. I want you to experience that. So you're going to have to do one or the other. You're going to either have to just deal with being God and be okay with that and take it, or at least just acknowledge your consciousness And what you put your awareness on is what you are going to instantly be formed into. It's instant. It's just that in the 3D realm, it takes a little time. So you have to just walk in that. And yes, it's just play pretend. Who cares? Who cares? Your whole life is a lie, except it's a lie that someone else made up. Them. Now that you know this, you would like let other people's lies and myths and assumptions, although false when persisted in, you're going to allow that awareness to have shaped you and control your life. And there's shit in your life right now you are not happy about, and you are just living and you're comfortable being uncomfortable. You're in a habit. That's it. That's it. If you're really serious, if you really want your shit, if you really want to understand this, laying there doing sleep affirmations is doing zero for you because you don't have a clue what you're doing and you're not accepting this. If that's you, if you haven't gotten to this point, you will manifest little bits and pieces as you go. Yes, you will, because it's bound to, and now you're paying attention to it, and now you're aware of it. But literally, when I tell you literally everything you imagined. So that wraps it up, basically. Now your eyes are open. Your Father, God Almighty, has been revealed to you as your awareness of being. What you're going to do with that now is up to you. In my world, I say, fuck it. And that doesn't mean that you don't fall back asleep. It doesn't mean that I don't forget this constant. So trust me, you're going to say yes, and then you're going to have amazing things happening, and you say yes, and then you're going to fall for your own shit, and then you're going to snap out of it, and then you're going to be like, holy shit, you're going to have crazy level ups, and then you're going to manifest things you want like crazy, and then you're going to be manifesting things that you're just like, what the fuck? But then as soon as you start to realize where's my attention? Your answer's right there. You're looking in the eyes of your child. It's your fucking kid. You recognize it. It tells you. So then there's your simple dialogue. That's what you just decide. And you just have to just make a choice to do it or not do it. That's it. Because either way, your answer is yes. So anyway, I hope this helps. I really do. And don't forget, join us for the Thanksgiving gratitude workshops and all the holiday workshops we're going to have the rest of the year. You do not have to be alone. Follow on TikTok. If you need one-on-one coaching, which we all do at some point, I got you. But make sure you're part of the Facebook group, Manifesting Naturally. There's lives, there's updates. But most importantly, it is the best community you could imagine. Go be part of that.